Great. Welcome, participants. Welcome, everyone, faculties around the Indian continent, basically Indian country, basically. We have lot many participants. We have lot many students who have joining us daily and in this 3 day seminar webinar series. And we are overwhelmed with the responses what we have got. Like on the first day, we have got the viewership of 1,120. Basically, yesterday live it was 584, and and still going on. And all these we have not made it public or kind of YouTube. Still, we are unlisted, and thank you for all the support you have given for us throughout these 2 days, basically. Now, as we start our day 3, as you all know that we will be starting up with our video, which we are doing. As our principal sir says that in this negative environment, certain kind of positivity and a hope of positivity has to be there. So we'll start up with a kind of song specially being made by JaiHind College for this situation, and then we will have a video, giving us a glimpse of JaiHind College, the course, what we are having, IT and BVoc, and also the facilities, what been involved, been there inside JaiHind College. So hope you enjoy both the videos. Let's see the video.
मिटाकर हर अंधेरों को वो किरणें लौट आएंगी। मेरे दोस्त तू ना घबरा कि सुबह फिर जगाएगी। मिटाकर हर अंधेरों को वो किरणें लौट आएंगी। मेरे दोस्त तू ना घबरा, सुबह फिर जगाएगी। छाया है जो ये तूफान, वो एक दिन थम जाएगा। ना टूटा है ना टूटेगा कभी हौसला अपना। There won't be any sorrow, there'll be a better tomorrow. There won't be any sorrow, there'll be a better tomorrow. There won't be any sorrow, there'll be a better tomorrow. There won't be any sorrow, there'll be a better tomorrow. वो सपना था जो आएगा वो अपना है। ना जो कल था वो भरेगा, जो आएगा सुहाना है। खिलेगा फिर समा अपना, बहारें मुस्कुराएंगी। ऐ मेरे दोस्त तू ना घबरा कि सुबह फिर जगाएगी। There won't be any sorrow, there'll be a better tomorrow. There won't be any sorrow, there'll be a better tomorrow. There won't be any sorrow, there'll be a better tomorrow. There won't be any sorrow, there'll be a better tomorrow. मिटाकर हर अंधेरों को वो किरणें लौट आएंगी। मेरे दोस्त तू ना घबरा, सुबह फिर जगाएगी, छाया है जो ये तूफान, वो एक दिन थम जाएगा, ना टूटा है ना टूटेगा कभी हौसला अपना। There won't be any sorrow, be a better tomorrow. There won't be any sorrow, there'll be a better tomorrow. There won't be any sorrow, there'll be a better tomorrow. There won't be any sorrow, there'll be a better tomorrow.
Hello everyone, I'm Krupa Kaparia, a student of JaiHind from the Department of BSc IT. BSc IT has had a very growing effect on me in the past 3 years in all forms of terms. BSc IT is a study of the field of software development, software testing, software designing, database, computer networking, programming, and computer systems. BSc IT is beneficial as the course provides high practical knowledge as there are hands-on practical life sessions as well as theory lectures, which helps and provides students a better understanding. The course covers basics like C++ to advanced subjects like advanced Java, advanced networking, enterprise networking, as well as cloud computing. It has truly been a great journey. It has helped me outgrow as becoming a better person, more skillful and more outspoken. When only study and no play makes a student dull. And exactly to make academics fun and exciting, we have our own departments club, .com club. I got this wonderful opportunity to be the secretary of the year 2019-20 for the club.com. It was a cherishable experience and got the opportunity to lead, to plan, and to manage teams. We organized Tech Fest, Cyberstrike, and various other events and activities. I got this prominent chance to lead the club and to a betterment towards social work as well as technical activities. A big thank you to all our teachers and our HOD for this overwhelming support and making me a better person towards academics as well as extracurricular activities.
Hi everyone, my name is Navid Govani and I am a student of the 2020 batch of BVoc SD from JaiHind College. BVoc has been a very eye-opening experience. When I joined back in 2017, it was a relatively new course, but it has definitely grown on me. BVoc has multiple different subjects. So there are subjects that are related to IT and computer science, such as Java and C++, your regular programming subjects. But there are also subjects related to other different disciplines that we get to learn, which makes this course a very holistic course. Another thing about BVoc is that it is very easy for people with a non-IT or computer science background to come up to speed, because the learning curve isn't very steep, because it is made sure that our teachers take us through the very basics from the very beginning. And along with all of our theory studies, we also have a very big focus on practicals. So for every software development subject that we study, we have an accompanying practical that we do at least once a week. And this helps us gain a very real world knowledge of the subject that we are learning. Of course, being JaiHind College, there is no dearth of extracurricular activities, and our department also has our very own fest, which is called Cyberstrike. Cyberstrike is the tech fest that you want and the tech fest you didn't know you needed. And it is something that's going to excite the geek in every one of you. This year, I got the chance to be the head of media for the .com Club, which is a club that organizes Cyberstrike and various other events throughout the year. It was a crazy fun experience, learning, experimenting, and trying to figure out what's the best, not only for DCC, but also for my team members. And I learned a lot through productive discussions with our HOD, Mr. Wilson Rao, and also from my classmates and friends. All in all, BVoc at JaiHind College is a very holistic package of fun and learning, and I would recommend it to anyone who comes to JaiHind College. All the best, everyone.
thank you everyone for you have watched this video. You might have understood the positivity which JaiHind gives you and the facility what JaiHind gives you. At this moment, I'd like to call upon our honorable principal sir, Dr. Ashok Wadia, to grace this occasion to start this day 3, the last day of our webinar series. Sir.
So thank you, Wilson sir, for organizing this seminar. And let me first welcome all of you, because these days are passing and all of you are here. Also, our speaker today, that is Saurabh Bakaria sir, he has agreed to come to give this kind of webinar. So therefore, students, I'm not able to see you all, but I'm glad that you are actually coming every day and watching this. I'm sure you must be thinking that why it should get over in 3 days, and would like to have more of this. And I'm sure that you will also request Wilson sir to plan more such things, so your time will be fruitfully used and not playing PUBG or any such kind of things. Um, for that matter, I like the today's title, because 2 days a different approach was there, starting with a web page, then you are considering about the yesterday, and then machine learning, and then now something was the word hygiene, which caught my eyes. And when you say about hygiene today, you are observing that I'm wearing mask because I'm there in the college. Somewhere in my right side, okay, in the frame you can see there is a name on the plate. Also, the office name is there. So 3 days I've been sitting at the different places, but one thing which I'm taking care is wearing mask. And so therefore, just like today, the COVID virus has attacked, and therefore everybody is bothered about this kind of hygiene, and that's a learning lesson. But all of you are very much aware about the viral attack, where the cyber space is concerned, and the cyber strike, many times it happens. And therefore, everyone who is in this particular field has to learn and to be more aware about this, and also to maintain certain conditions, and appropriately say that the digital hygiene. And I like this particular title for that reason. So this has to be imbibed by everyone if one is going to work on the cyber. And who else can tell us about this? The person like Saurabh Bakaria, who has been in this particular field, and of course formally will be introduced regarding this particular part, will be enlightening all of us. Though some of you may be aware about certain things, but I'm sure that at the end of it, you will realize that there is much more knowledge we need to acquire to remain safe in the cyberspace. So thank you very much, sir, Saurabh sir, for coming. The entire team, not only Wilson sir, but IT department, software development, and all the students who have put a lot of hard work, because JaiHind College always depends on the students. You saw the two students speaking, one for the software development, one for the IT department, but they are basically JaiHindite. And what they are bringing out is a kind of infrastructure and the things like that. So this is the basic part of the JaiHind spirit, JaiHind culture, which has been brought out. And therefore, all the students, I must thank you that you are all coming forward and participating in such kind of webinar and taking the knowledge. Thank you very much. Wilson sir, we are already late. This is a time for the formal introduction of Bakaria sir, and all are waiting for Bakaria sir to enlighten us. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your great words. Bertila Fernandez from our team would be introducing the speaker. Bertila.
Yes, sir. Good morning, one and all. I, Ms. Batila Fernandez, heartily welcome you all on behalf of BACIT and BVoc Software Development Departments of JaiHind College Autonomous to the national level webinar series, Current Trends in Technology. Our speaker of the day, Mr. Saurabh Vakharia, is a technology optimist who is extremely passionate about emerging trends in the technology field and implementing the same that improves and eases the lives and businesses of many. From being a professor by profession and a traveler by passion, Mr. Saurabh Vakharia has many achievements and stories to tell. With profound IT knowledge of subjects like information security, digital marketing, and artificial intelligence, he now spearheads Wise Monkeys, an online information sharing portal, and is also a co founder of a Mumbai based digital marketing agency called iDigitize. Included more, he has published 4 research papers and has authored 8 textbooks for IT undergraduates and has invented a new programming language known as My Language. I appreciate that he is here with us today to share knowledge on digital hygiene. Dear participants, if you have any query, please feel free to ask our speaker by posting it in the live chat box, which would be enabled in the last 30 minutes of the session. Please join us in welcoming Mr. Saurav Vakaria. Over to you, Mr. Saurav Vakaria.
Thank you, madam, and thank you all the faculties, Wilson sir, Ashok sir, and JaiHind College for inviting me today. And I have a few things to share. Probably I'll be sharing more of my experience, what as a student till being a faculty, the journey which I've lived. I would like to share with people so that everyone can learn. So stay tuned, keep listening. All right. So I'll be starting off now by sharing my PowerPoint presentation, and then I'll be speaking on a few more topics. I would want a two-way communication. I don't want just a one-way communication. So in the meantime, I'll be questioning people. I'll be talking to you all to make it more interactive, and with inputs of my listeners, I'll be able to guide them much better. All right. So I'll be just starting off with sharing my screen. Okay. Uh, so now uh, we can see there is a digital hygiene, a topic which I have chosen today to talk about. Now, this wonderful topic has a lot to say. I mean, we've spoken about different type of hygiene, especially in the COVID scenario these days. We have been speaking about hygiene, keeping things cleaner, keeping ourselves cleaner to stay away from the virus. So similarly, I believe that there is a huge need for our digital well-being. Uh, why I thought of this topic is because the other day once I was surfing in my cell phone, and I just found an app which is known as digital well-being. It's generally there in everyone's cell phone. So by going through that application, and I understood that a digital well-being is equally important than just being our regular physical or biological well-being. So here today I'll be talking on a few more topics which probably can enhance knowledge in you all. So today we'll be talking on four topics. First one is the online profile creation and management. Then social media profile hygiene, and then we'll be talking about the cyber threats to an individual. And the fourth topic, which I would like to share, is social engineering, which is again a very important topic. All right. So I hope I am very clear to all. I'm very loud and clear to everyone. So
Yep, yep.
I hope my stream is correct. All right.
Yes,
Fine.
yeah.
All right. Thanks. First thing, when we learn about online profile creation and management, I remember around in 2014 for the first time when I thought of this, by creating my own profile. I purchased a domain of my own name. People laughed at me, definitely, and I used to just post my few Java programs on that, blog and just share it with people. So people thought you could have written a blog, like you purchased a domain of your own name. So that was not that back then. It was not that usual that people would end up buying domain of their own name. But I wanted to try something different, and especially when you do something different, people wouldn't find it, very much different. So I thought of creating an online profile of myself, thinking that probably whatever learning I have, whatever knowledge I have, and I need to give it back to the society. So we've been doing this already as teachers. We give a lot back to society. So then I thought of creating this profile, and then I thought, okay, let me give back to society in this way. Maybe our listeners today can do the same. Like if they would want to give back to society, they need to come out and create their own presence digitally. Now today in the COVID situation, everyone is online, everyone is talking digital, but definitely if you look a year back, it was not that prominent. Like people always thought that classroom would be a place where the teaching and learning would happen. Okay, that was, I would say completely, but yeah, that was a little, up market, you can say, as compared to coming on digital. But now, in the pandemic situation, we have learned a different way. We have learned a totally different idea of presenting ourselves online. Okay, so I'm sure after the pandemic is over, we all will still continue to connect ourselves digitally. So, creating and maintaining your online presence is equally important. Okay, but how to do that? That's again a question. Like the word is very good. Like we have to create an online presence. We can create a good profile so that people can follow us and all that blah 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 things come into our mind. But how to make that happen? Okay, that's the question. So today probably we'll be learning how to make that happen, how to create your profile online, which is efficient enough and which should leave a good impression of you. As most of the listeners today are teachers, I would want teachers to maybe learn a little bit from here and work on the same on their own profiles, and especially for the students, those who are listening today who aspire to do something in life in future, they also need to focus more on this. So, coming to creating an online profile, number A, unlike your regular offline profile, your online profile speaks much more about you because it is available 24 by 7, around the clock to the world. Whatever you've written, whatever you do, whatever little impressions you do is being just there. So one of my friend, he taught me long back that in this scenario of the coming world, we need to create our footprints online everywhere, wherever possible. Now, why do we need to create our footprints online? Because that's the only place where people look for us. If you see today, if anybody would want to connect to anybody, first thing they would do is they'll go and check the profile of that person on social media, or probably people would Google, because people feel the tons of information is available online. So online becomes one of the platform where people would want to, grasp as much information as possible if we are trying to look for somebody's profile. Same would happen for you all also. To all my fellow teachers, or to all my fellow educators who are trying to give back to society, I would highly insist to them to create their online profile. Now, it can happen by just purchasing a domain and maybe hosting a small little WordPress site on the same, and writing about yourself. Now, how you project yourself, it totally depends on how you want people to perceive your personality as. So that's very important. Your See, in offline scenarios, when we meet, we speak, people understand us better. But when it's online, people see, read, and understand us. So the content, what we put on our online profiles, that matters a lot. So I know this is a matter of laughter, but there are I would like to take the name, but there are certain platforms wherein if you see if somebody's profile is there, we start laughing. If somebody's creating a comedy video or a video which probably we might not really appreciate, so we laugh out on that person saying that कि, okay, so यहाँ पर profile है तो ऐसा ही होगा. So there are certain platforms where this happens. I restrict myself from saying the names of the platforms because that's not actually correct. So this is very important. You need to be at times politically correct when you speak. This is another word which I have learned in this entire journey, that we need to speak correct. We need to differ to take the names which can go wrong. So that's another learning. Moving further to understand the social media profiles. Now, most of us, we are using social media. All right, we all are there on the social media, yes. So I would just want in this scenario that to have the chat window on so that I can interact with my audience. So Wilson sir, if you can please enable the chat so that I can
Yes,
then
buddy.
talk
Yes.
to my people. Yeah, thank you,
Yeah.
sir. All right. So uh, I'm sure I've written few names like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. Okay, these are few branded platforms. There are many others, but I've taken only four names because in this session I'll be covering these four platforms only. So we need to understand the potential of each platform. We need to understand how we use effectively these platforms. Now, those are the days which are gone when somebody is going to tell you that don't use these platforms. You're a student. You need to focus. Okay, I wouldn't say that. Don't. I wouldn't say don't use. I would say use all the platforms. So most students, most professors, everyone needs to use all the platforms. But how effectively we can use these platforms, that's very important for us. So people who are there with us, how many of are using Facebook? So if you can just write in the chat window just yes. So I just want to read that a lot of yes coming. Okay. So how many of us are using Facebook? Okay. Uh, all right. I can't
We have
see the comments
activated
coming.
just a minute. It will come basically.
Okay. Okay. No problem. No problem. No problem. All right. So I've started getting yeah. So most people use Facebook. So I've started getting the messages already, and yeah, good, good, fair enough. Uh, then there is another platform which is Instagram. Uh, we use that as well. We use Twitter as well. I'm sure Twitter is something which less people would be viewing it, and LinkedIn is again which is totally ignored. Okay, so I've set up a hierarchy of these profiles purposely to give you an understanding what we actually do and what we should be doing. We should be exactly doing opposite of this. Okay, on a hierarchy where the Facebook is on top and Instagram and then Twitter and LinkedIn. As a professional, if we want our profiles to be maintained, we should be doing something opposite of that. And as a student, if we see we follow this. Okay, like Facebook is on top, and then Instagram, then Twitter, and then somewhere it comes LinkedIn. All right. So yeah, so there are a lot of messages. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. So now let me help you understand what these four different platforms mean to us and how do we use it. Facebook, for that matter, The platform itself is developed to connect people. It's built to connect friends and family online. Use it for that. So this is a more personal platform than professional one. Feel free to use this platform personally. You can post things about yourself, but again, when we say we are using this platform personally, we also need to understand whatever we post, okay, whatever we are posting on these platforms, it goes publicly available. All right, you probably can argue upon saying, okay, what if I have my privacy settings very high? All right, you can do that. You can have your privacy settings high just to satisfy yourself, but that is not something which is going to help you. Okay, your privacy settings is not something which is going to help you completely. Your privacy settings are limited. Okay, whatever privacy settings you have set, they are again going to restrict a few audience, but not all. And you never know amongst those few audience who is passing on your information further ahead. So, staying in this myth that I have a tight privacy settings and I'm safe, please don't live with that myth, please. So that's first rule while using the platform. You can connect to people, you can connect to your friends, post all the content on Facebook which you want to go public, which you really want to go public. Like you feel that there is no harm if I post this picture online, if there is no harm if I write this thing online. All right. All right. Another fact about using all these platforms, including from Facebook to any, is restricting yourself when you're writing. Okay, especially when you're writing a comment or when you're writing a status, whatever information you're trying to write, restrict yourself to an extent which is not harming somebody else. If there are people who might not agree to what you've written at times, they might not agree to what pictures you've posted or videos you've posted. People might comment on your pictures, post, or your content that this is not good according to them. Don't get into an argument. Just stay with it. If you have expressed yourself, okay, first make sure don't express in a way so that it probably happen to hurt somebody's sentiments. So control on that. It could be any damn sentiments, and then whatever you've posted and people don't like it and they happen to comment on that, just ignore it. These are the basic etiquettes which we have learned from our parents. They have always said just we need to ignore things at times. So yeah, you need to ignore online as well. So it's not something which is coming from a profound scientific knowledge, but it's something very simple. You just need to ignore if you find something which is not good. All right. So use Facebook effectively for that matter to connect to people. Uh, Also, you can use it to brand yourself. Like people create their pages. Feel free to create pages, but then the content on the pages should be accordingly. What you write on the Facebook pages, what information you give should be correct. Don't give out false information, which end up spoiling your identity. So don't do that. Write correct information, which is actually going to be effectively useful. For example, I'll say if I have a page on Facebook and that page talks about that I'm owning a company and my company works from X time to X time. So, for example, morning 8 we start and we shut at 6. So it should be available. If I'm writing a mobile number that somebody can contact me, then that number should be available. So having these small little senses while you're creating a business profile online goes with it. Or there would be few professors who would want to create their profiles on Facebook. Do that. Okay, so you can create a personal profile and create a Facebook page for yourself where you are sharing a lot of study material, a lot of knowledge material with people online. So you can do that as well. But again, ensure what you share. Okay, whatever you share should be under your control. Okay, so that's very important. Coming to another platform, which is Instagram. Now, Instagram is completely an image sharing platform. It's a picture sharing platform, and now it has come up to a video sharing one where people post pictures and people, come for a video. So get one thing right. On Facebook, people don't come only to consume pictures. People come to consume a variety of data. Okay, while on Instagram, the people who are coming, they are coming to consume pictures. We all have become data mongers. We want to consume data. We've got cell phones, we've got a lot of apps, we've got a good amount of internet. Now that whatever time we have, we want to utilize it. So we want to consume data. So every user consumes data differently. So there are people who like pictures more. There are people who like text more. So depending on that. So when we are using another platform, which is Instagram, ensure that this platform consumes all your images. Whatever pictures you post on Instagram goes live to thousand other people. Okay, there'll be a lot of you can say people who are consuming your data differently. You never know how they end up doing it. Uh, Most importantly, you as a user, when you are consuming data, or that means when you are consuming pictures online. So why I use this word consuming? Because our brain is consuming it. We are just seeing and we are just consuming the data, and those impressions are going into our brain. So that's the reason I always say we are consuming data. So on the Instagram, when we are ensure that all your pictures are good, effective, which would give out some information. uh, Try to keep Instagram differently. If you are focusing on one niche, focus it on one niche. Like for example, if you see my Instagram, it's all about my travel and my food habits. It's all about my passion towards the nature, my passion towards travel, and my passion towards food. So I've kept it exactly that way. I don't want to mix it up with some other fact, because people are not going to like it. If you want people to follow you on that, there's no harm. Please, you should. But then you need to give them what they're looking for. Okay, why would I follow somebody on Instagram? Why? Because I am consuming the amount of data what the person is doing. For example, I'm following a cybersecurity firm on Instagram. Why? Because I want to have security updates constantly. So if that cybersecurity page starts giving out not a cybersecurity update, but rather they start giving me out the food updates, so probably I'm not going to like that. It's that simple. So this is very important here. For the educators who are there on Instagram, please use it. Your students are there. You have to set an example of yourself to them. There is no harm in coming on all these platforms. Most of the educators restrict themselves, thinking, no, this is not professional. We are good in class. Get one thing very straight. The classroom is not just the four walls today. The classroom is in the hand of every student. So if you really want to teach them, you need to reach there. You can't sit in a classroom with a bunch of 50 students and try to bombard. Even people are being in the classroom, they are not in the classroom. You and I, we need to accept that fact. So people are more, their brains are constantly working on all the platforms. So try to give them knowledge where they are. It's a time that we all need to change our habits. It's a time where we all need to behave differently, so that to impart the knowledge differently, because we need to reach the students. So whichever is the best way, as an educator, we will use that and reach them the best way. As a student on the other side, when you are using Instagram. See, guys, try to understand this platform is very valuable. It is made to consume images. Use it happily. Try to follow those profiles which inspires you, which gives you good amount of knowledge. Stay away from the profiles which might offend you. Stay away from the profiles which you don't like. If you feel that these are the profiles which are always giving away the information which we are not liking it, or maybe a hate speech, unfollow that. The more you consume negativity, the more your brain is going to get programmed that way, and probably you'll end up into depression. I'm not saying you'll become an active person or probably you end up doing something wrong. I'm not saying that, but I know that you all have good control to yourselves. But yes, one thing is sure, it is somewhere going to have some impact in your brain, and you might are going to be somewhere deeply impacted. You're going to end up in that negative area. So stay away from that gray part of it. Stay away from that gray area. Follow those profiles which you feel like, which you feel that they are going to inspire you. See, if you want to become like somebody, if you are looking that you should be a personality in future, like somebody you aspire to become something, there are a lot more profiles online. See, You can also find Tesla online. You can also find nowadays SpaceX online. What more you want? What more you want? All the bigger biggest industries, they all are there. So you follow them, consume knowledge, understand, and go big. The third important platform is Twitter. Now, unlike the Facebook and the Instagram, Twitter is another platform. Now, this platform is made to express yourself in words. Earlier, it was 160 characters only, but now they have extended limit. But again, Twitter is a place where people don't come to see pictures. Twitter is a place where people don't come to see videos, but they come to read. So what you write is more important there. They say the power of Twitter is in retweeting. So if you write something good and people like it, they will retweet it, and you will be your footprints will increase. So that as an educators, we can use that platform by giving away a good thoughts. We can write good information that people are following you, they can understand, they can read. As a student, you can use this platform and follow good people who are there online who can give you knowledge. The best part about Twitter is they have very much official profiles. Like you see our prime minister, he's there on Twitter. You see bigger agencies, bigger companies. You see NASA. You see everything they are on Twitter. So these are those you can say verified profile with the tick mark on the Twitter. Follow them. They give out news. They give out information. I use Twitter to check news every day. I don't need to read newspaper. So I just go to my Twitter and then I Twitter handle and then I just go to the news section of it and I read the news of the day. So it'll give me the local news to the international news, whatever I'm looking for, depending upon my taste. So use these platforms wisely for the same purpose. Again, ensure Twitter is very dangerous if you use it for hate speech. Don't ever write wrong. Don't. You can land up in problem. And cybersecurity, if it is concerned, or the cyber law, if it is concerned in our country, it's very strong. People will track you down. You cannot just run away. Uh, Remember, most people who are from the IT background, we talk about non-repudiation. So that's a very important part here. Whatever you've written, whatever your footprints are, whatever, even if you delete your comment, once it has gone online, you cannot deny that it has never gone online, because all your footprints are always saved on the servers. Always, nothing gets deleted. Nothing gets deleted. So just get this notion right. So if you might think that, okay, I'll keep my privacy settings too high. I'll keep my, I'll delete the comment after commenting somewhere after a while. You cannot defy. It's going to be there. Even if you delete it, with the servers, it's always maintained. So please, guys, whenever you type, ensure this. Another, while you're sending DMs, you think these are the personal messages. Okay. You feel that we can write whatever we want. It's a DM, right? Don't do that. If it's a hate speech, if it is something which is going to offend somebody, you're going to be behind the bars, trust me, very soon. All right. So there are a lot of cases online. If you go happen and see that, if you can read the news for that matter and try to understand. If you happen to write anything which offends somebody in your personal message, also, it is going to land you up in jail. Especially, teenagers, they have habit of following celebrities. They follow celebrities and they happen to DM them. They happen to message them personally, and then few people, end up writing vulgar messages as well. So please try to get away from that. If that has been reported, you'll be behind the bars. So understand that. The fourth most important platform now we're going to discuss is LinkedIn, which most of us don't use. Okay, so as an educators, all the professors who are listening, I would say, please, you need to create a beautiful LinkedIn profile of yourself. Okay, so this is a place where you connect professionally. Okay, maintain this hygiene of all the four profiles. Okay, the Facebook is completely, it should be personal. You add only personal people whom you know. Do not add random people to your profile. It should be only available to your family and friends. Add that network, share personal thing, be happy. Instagram, you can use it to in a varied way. You can keep it personal, you can keep it open to all if you want to share publicly. So for if you ask me, my Facebook is personal, but my Instagram is open to all because I have maintained that thin line of hygiene to make it that way. So whatever goes on Instagram, it's publicly available for people. Twitter, for that matter, okay, that's again very much publicly available. So you have to ensure whatever you have written, and again, it's a professional platform. Treat it as professional because what you write is being counted there. And then comes the LinkedIn part. LinkedIn, we need to keep it open because we want to end up in a professional career successfully. So we need to keep our LinkedIn open. So we do that, of course. We do our LinkedIn open for people. Fair enough, you can do that, but maintain a profile, a good profile, while starting from posting your display picture, okay, which should be crisp and clear. Get a good headshot done. Okay, spend a little bit on your headshot. Get probably hire a professional and get a good headshot done so that people who are looking your LinkedIn profile can grasp. You can go to my LinkedIn profile and see what I have done. Okay, so what I say I've already done it. Okay, so I'm not just blabbering and giving you gyan, but then you need to understand. Then how you maintain your profile, whatever your achievements are, you need to put it on LinkedIn. You need to write what you do. You need to constantly maintain that timely. So it's not that once in 6 months you open the profile and then you pour all the 6 months information and then you go gayab. No, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. It looks really shabby. The timeline needs to be maintained. For example, I have today's webinar series with you. So yesterday, people on my LinkedIn knew about it, and I'm gonna do something. It should be similar in your case also. You should be informing, keeping your profiles active so that people know it timely. See, get one thing straight: information or data, they are very much timely. So in our in our IT language, we call it's always a temporal data. Why? Because it has its own expiry date. If you post an information which is way out and it's over outdated, it's not going to help you. So it has its own expiry date. You need to maintain everything timely. That's very important. So draw a thin line from today, make a good profile of your all, and use all these platforms in a very hygienic manner. Don't post or don't use them in a vice versa way. For example, people end up using LinkedIn as Facebook by connecting to so many families and friends, posting their personal pictures of picnics also. So LinkedIn is not made for that. You're not going to post your pictures with your family outings and now. You can do that on Facebook. That the platform is there for that purpose. Okay, you can do that on Instagram for that matter. So do accordingly. Also, to keep one thing in mind, nowadays the interviews which are happening when your profile is being understood, if you try to apply for a job to an organization is going to check all these profiles, especially these four of them. Your presence online is going to be monitored way before you even land up for an interview. Once the resume reaches there, they are going to read all your profiles, scan through everything, and understand your personality. Because nowadays it has become very easier for an HR to understand what kind of person you are looking right at your Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and LinkedIn profiles. So all the students who are listening today, if you have maintained unhealthy profile wherein you've shared the data which you shouldn't be sharing, wherein you've shared all the stuff which you shouldn't be doing. So just get away from that. Kindly, start brushing up your profiles. Kindly making them better because in tomorrow's world, when the pandemic is going to get over and you are going to go out for hunting for jobs, this is going to be very important for you. Where people are going to see all your profiles, they're going to understand your personality before they even call you for an interview. Are you getting it? So that's going to be very important. Further, moving ahead, now we're going to discuss about the cyber threats to an individual. So now, as an individual, there are a few threats which I have highlighted, which are going to be, we are going to be a part of it. It's a very vulnerable scenario out there, so we need to understand and act accordingly. So before I go further ahead, I hope people are with me and they've understood. I hope they've understood the entire idea of maintaining the four profiles. If you have any questions, you can feel free to ask me before I go to another explanation. So I'll hold on for like 2 minutes. If anybody has any questions, you can please ask me. And I hope if this is going great, then we'll probably go further. All right. So there are comments. Thank you. You're liking the session. It's amazing, informative, good. All right. All right. So I think we go further, and this is going fair. Cyber threats to an individual. Okay, threat is something we are prone to. We all are prone to. Okay, uh, we cannot completely get over threats. We cannot completely eradicate, but we can always mitigate that. Okay, that's something which we have always learned during our information technology academics, and that's true. So what we need to understand different types of threats which are there. First is cyberbullying. So we need to stay away from it, as well as we need to ensure that we are not doing the same. Cyberbullying is when you are trying to bully somebody online by writing something wrong or by pressurizing in some or the other way. Okay, it might happen that people want to pressurize you in a way, and they write some comment. They try to completely defame you. Okay, they try to make you do some wrongdoings online. Stay away from it. If that ever happens with you, you are bullied online. Okay, so try to first discuss it to a person who's immediate help to you. It could be for a student, it could be a parent. Okay, for an adult, it could be somebody who's from a law background or who's a more learned. Try to take the immediate help, and if need be, there is no harm in calling the cops. Please do that. You need to inform it to the cyber cell department or the police department, and take the help of the officials if required. Okay, you need not to sit by yourself, and you don't need to think, oh, what will happen if I go and complain? People might think, oh, I'm going to police station. No, that's not the case. That's not the case. Might be possible that you are being bullied by somebody who's into a very big racket, and they trap you in. So you never know that things may go wrong for you. So as a victim of cyberbullying, if you feel that you are getting something wrong, you're getting wrong information, try to stay away, yes, but at the same time, if it goes beyond, you need to inform the authorities. Second is profile defamation. Now, this is again a very important part here, wherein people try to defame you by different ways. If you see anything as such that somebody's profile is being defamed, if the person is your friend, you can always help your friend by reporting that to the Facebook or Instagram or whichever platform owners. As an individual, if you see somebody is trying to defame your profile, first thing you need to do is very primary step, report that as an abusive content to the platform itself. Second, if you feel somebody is defaming you, you need to contact the authorities. Feel free to go to police. Feel free to go and tell them that somebody is trying to defame my profile. This is very important. If your personality which is coming up online, somebody's trying to ruin that up, okay, there is no harm in going and approaching the authorities, which can help you on the same. Okay, so there are various measures you can take. Try to keep your profile limited to people. Once if you follow a good social media hygiene, then definitely you can try to mitigate this factor of defamation. Okay, that's very important. Another point is social engineering, which I'll be discussing, how people can defame your profile by taking out your credentials from yourself. So we'll be discussing that further. Another threat online we do face is fake profiles and masquerades. Now, fake profiles could be there could be a profile of an actor or an actress, or there could be a profile of a person by yourself. Somebody might have created your fake profile. Okay, it could be possible that people have created a fake profile of you and trying to capture the market, or trying to capture your footprint on your name and trying to get benefit out of it. The simplest way to make sure that your audience, that your followers can understand that it is a fake profile is, on your profile, if you are updating it regularly and maintaining one hygiene, that your profile is having a same user ID everywhere, a similar kind of you can say aesthetics everywhere, then it becomes very easier for an audience to understand that whether it is a fake profile or an original one. Okay, so for an instance, if you see the profile of a celebrity, you understand by yourself that this is a fake profile or this is an actual original profile. So that becomes very obvious, when we see a celebrity profile. Similarly, our profiles also. So, for example, what I do, if you see, all my profiles have got one single name on every platform. So what happens is, in any platform, if somebody finds a different username, they will definitely suspect that this could be a fake profile, because this guy's username everywhere is same. So if you want to identify the fake profile of somebody, all right, so you check the username of that person. If it is similar on every platform, it's good. Most of us, we don't do that. Like especially students, we end up screwing up our own username by just you making it some kind of fancier one. Uh, God knows what all we use and what kind of usernames we create. Don't do that. That is really being stupid when you do that. So that also ensures that you are not an original person. The profile itself is fake. Okay. So for students, this is you can consider this as a lesson, that don't write any random usernames, and don't keep changing your usernames for that matter. All right, so understand that. Again, you would it would be possible that these profiles would be contacting you. So even if your friend tries to contact you online, if you feel the person is a masquerade, try asking questions. If somebody is asking for a favor, if you know that person, if a person is a friend, directly call that person and say, "Okay, are you the same person who's asking me the information?" So this happened. I'll tell you, one of my friend had got into the same, that his profile was being used, and somebody has created a fake profile on his name and had started contacting everyone and requesting them to send him money because he's land up into trouble. So it could be a biggest trap. So in these scenarios where somebody asks for any kind of favor from you online, please ensure that it could be a fake profile, and please ensure that talk to the person in person, ask such questions to identify it. Okay, so there are a lot of questions coming. I'll be definitely answered all of them. So first thing is, Mr. There's somebody, Sakshi is asking that, I wanted to ask that how can I find out what people are saying about my brand online? Okay, the simplest way for you to find out is, search the brand name, search the hashtag which you are using for your brand, so that to understand what kind of content is being generated according to your brand. If you find so, you will get a lot of list of that, and then you go through it and review it. How do I respond to a negative review is another question by Ekta. So what you can do is, there is always an option, and wherever you find probably any content which is written, there is always an option to report. Please report it at negative, depending upon every platform. Every platform has given that feature by itself. All right. Urja is asking what type of positive web content I can create to offset negative content. See, you can't offset negative content just by creating positive content. So all you can do is, you can just for your own knowledge, if you want to, you can probably check the content by yourself, When you are online, see what positive content is available. You can follow it. When you want to create yourself, keep creating it. You don't need to worry about what negative content is there. Unfollow those profiles if required. Block those profiles. So stay away from that. Somebody's asking, and Niharika is asking that I wanted to ask if WhatsApp is safe to use. Yes, it is very much safe to use. It's a messenger wherein you can send and receive messages. As far as you are not clicking on random, maybe URLs, and you are not accepting the random messages. Only talk to people whom you know. If you don't, then ask questions to them before you connect. So that way it is safe. Then Rishikesh is asking, how can I monitor what people are saying about my business via social media? So now that becomes a very important part. You need to actually go online and again go through your business profile. So what you can do is the simplest way is go to the search bar of each and every platform, search for the name of your business. If anybody has spoken in the comments or somebody has posted anything, it will automatically come. See if you feel anything offensive, report it there and there. And I would say another advice: at times you don't need to worry what people say. Just let it be. You focus on doing good. So nothing wrong will go to your business. Another question is WhatsApp safe to use? Okay, it's been answered. All right, Sahil asked, we always talk about 5% of the internet, dark web, which is 95%. All right, so dark web is another term which we should be avoiding it. Uh, get one thing right: the internet, which is freely available for you to use that. No need to get inside dark web. Even if you feel that we will get inside to dark web in a very using VPNs and all, that's not going to help. If one thing, one principle, understand: if you can see them, they can see you too. So stay away from the deep web and dark web as much as possible. Don't even try to explore it. Don't. Another is our social media sites like Instagram, Facebook, etc. are essential for students. Yeah, even if you see, if you are a professor, you are asking the same, or you are a parent, you are asking the same. They are not essential, but you can't stay away with it. Okay, nowadays, if you there are a lot things you might say they are essential or not. Now it is up to you to decide whether it is essential or not. But get one thing clear: whether you say it or not, are the students going to stay away from it? They are going to be there. So I would say, instead of asking them to move out of it, ask them to use it effectively. Then are the Instagram safe for us mean students? Yeah, it is very much safe if you are using it safely. So there is no problem in that. How can we keep watch on how to be safe? Now, if you follow a certain instincts of your own, and these instincts will be derived from the regular practices or hygienic practices online, if you're following, then probably you can ensure it is safe. uh, I definitely understand that nothing online is completely safe, but if we are keeping some practices to keep it safe, then yes, it is. All right. Another question is, how can we expand our business on social media? Vinay is asking that. So you can expand business on social media by creating your business profile, a clean business profile, and post stuff about your business. Give information to people about your business. If they like it, they will definitely come to you. So that's a very simplest way. Somebody is asking how to identify fake branding websites. Now, this is very difficult to actually identify the fake branding websites because there are high chances that people, brand wrong. So, what you can do is, if online, you can always use, if it is a established brand, then that brand will always have a verified tick mark on the profile. Just follow that. If it is not having a verified tick mark, and if it is a local brand, a smaller brand, then you need to take your own call by understanding and talking to the profile. What would be the right method to deal with the hacked accounts? If you happen to connect to a hacked account, then the best way is, as a user, if you feel there is a hacked account, please report it. That's it. Sahil is asking, data breaches on the internet is a very common thing these days. Details are sold for a very cheap rate, but no security can withhold this. So, Sahil, I would say the comment which you made right now, this is a data, and this is very easily available to everyone. So what if somebody is just taking a snapshot of it and posting it online, saying that Sahil has said this? All right. So as I said, all the data which you post online is just given to all. It's given to public. So it's better that you post only that data online which you can make it public. Like for example, your personal information, don't. Especially when it comes to your banking information or any such information which can cause vital damage, don't post it online. So that's the best way to stay away from it. All right. Okay, so moving further ahead to the fourth point, which is hate speech. Don't type, don't write anything which might not be liked by people. Don't comment anything which somebody might not appreciate. So hate speech is something which for which we need to stay away from. That whatever we are posting online, whatever we are writing online, we need to control our words. Like as I said a few minutes back when I was trying to explain you something, I restricted myself by saying the name because I know that if I take the name, there are high chances of that particular platform to get defamed, which we should not be doing. So don't do it. Simple. So whenever especially when you see anything, any hate speech going online, don't even like it, don't even comment it, just get away with it. No need to do anything. You might find that people are writing abusive about each other. People are fighting for some petty issues or reasons. Don't get involved in that. If you find that's happening, people are commenting, don't do anything. Just no need to even like it, not even to dislike it. If you don't like it, if there's a very simple option, you can block that content. Block the content, stay away from it. All right. So that's very important. Then the final part is social engineering, which I'll be discussing further in a little more detail. Now, there in the comment section, Rushikesh says privacy is a myth. I would say it's definitely true. Privacy is a myth if you think that all my content is completely private. If I have a tight privacy settings, yes, it is private to the people who cannot view your profile. But if you have set up simple logic that you have set up a privacy settings that you don't want to show your content to outsiders, but people who are in your network can see your content. What is the guarantee of the person who is in your network and is taking away your content and putting it somewhere else? So that way, the data leakage becomes one of the path from your insider itself. So privacy is a myth that way. Should we keep on checking our track on nw3c.org? You can. The site is good for that, but not really. Not everything would be available again. All right. Moving further ahead to understand social engineering, the art of manipulating humans, I call. So this is a beautiful art where people manipulate to get information out of you. Okay. So there could be a computer-based and non-computer-based attacks on social engineering, right starting from the malwares and online information gathering platforms which are available, such as, for example, there is Whois, there are many other social networks from where the information can be captured, or maybe there could be an online fake campaign running to gather information, and there could be a phishing attack which is happening online. So there are different mechanisms which are computer-based mechanisms by which you can gather information. There could be a non-computer-based mechanisms of gathering information as well. But now we need to understand what is social engineering, what can go wrong. For example, we are trying to we are trying to simply take away a password of somebody. We're trying to hack into an account of somebody. So, for an instance, there is a person whose account we want to hack. What all we need, if we need is username and we need a password. So, probably to get a username of that person, how difficult it would be. What do you think? We can take a username by simply asking that person, hey, can I have your email ID? I would just like to share your information. Isn't that easy? Yes, it is that easy. You can ask for the username or that is the login ID or all these very easily. It's openly available at times. Okay, understanding the password. So most people, most of us, we keep a very weak password. So that is another biggest problem with us. We try to keep a password which we can always remember, so that our life becomes easier. But understand, you're trying to make your life easy, at the same time your profile more vulnerable. So your life would be easy, you remember the password, but the profile is going to be more vulnerable outside. So there are a lot for many passwords. So let me have your view on the same, wherein you can tell me on the comment section what all probable passwords people keep. Like, for example, people can keep telephone numbers, people can keep their names. If you can help me with more possibilities on the same. So there are a few questions here on the comment. Can we protect sensitive information handled and stored by the third-party vendors? You need to read their privacy policies when you are logging into them. So that will help you a lot in the same. Okay, how can we find out whether it is a clone profile? Now, you can, if you have two profiles, check both the profiles, talk to them like a human, and try to understand who replies better. So that's the only way you can understand whether it's a clone profile or not. Yes, it's necessary to have a social account for job. Not really necessary, but it adds a value to you. Even if you don't have it, it is fine. Still, people, you will get job. But if you are having it and you're giving an upper hand to somebody to understand your profile, so it's an add-on advantage. So how to check encryption on an Android iOS apps, where many times they tend to use HTTP or actually do not have an encryption. All right, get this one thing right. When you talk about encryption, okay, encryption is something which is available to protect your information. But if you think an HTTP site and HTTPS site is going to play a very important role in that, that's not really true. One simple line I would like to tell you: high chances even an HTTPS site can render malicious data. Only HTTPS will guarantee that from the server till the receiver where you're receiving, the data is coming in a encrypted format. So that's the only thing. But what data is coming inside that, it could be malicious by itself. So that's the biggest myth again. So don't get yourself into the trap of it. Another question is Zoom app really safe? Zoom is safe. There is no harm. A lot of people are asking me is whether Zoom is safe. So if you see, people have boycotted Zoom. If there are few the companies who have boycotted it for their own personal reasons, because they feel that the data in Zoom is being used or processed in a different way, which doesn't falls into their norms. If you are not sharing a very vital information or very much confidential, like for example you are not a part of a raw agency, then probably Zoom is safe for you. So it's okay. And nowadays Zoom has come up with an update where they said that they have encrypted, they're giving into an encryption. So so that way you can consider that the data which is getting transmitted over Zoom is encrypted. All right. So now there are somebody is writing, can we use password managers? Yes, you can use password managers, or you can use two-way, two-step verification methods as well, so that to ensure the login to your profile becomes a little more confidential. Then continuous number should be avoided in a password. Okay, so we were on the question where what kind of passwords people keep. Yeah, continuous numbers could be avoided in passwords. There could be high possibilities that people are using their nearbｙ's name, your beloved one's name. People are using the number plates of their cars and bikes. So these things which are visibly to us, so we need to avoid such passwords. Don't need to keep such passwords. So that it becomes literally a little more difficult for the attacker to actually guess your password. So, coming back to the understanding of social engineering, what can happen? See, all the information of setting up a password, if you have a vulnerable password, it can be very easily available from your profile. If somebody wants to understand what is your complete full name, somebody wants to understand your age, somebody wants to understand from where you've passed out from, what colleges you have gone to, what kind of food you like, what kind of person you are. Everything is available socially online, or maybe people can talk to you, and after talking to you they can gather information from you, and that information they can use against you. So that is highly possible, that you end up giving away your passwords in a social engineering attack. For the students, what happens mostly is, we need to understand whatever profiles we see online. If you get a friend request from, for guys, they get friend request from a girl profile, or for the girls they might get a friend request from a male profile. The profile is would be very profound, professionally designed to attract you, so that you feel like connecting to that person or a personality. It could be possible, people who are doing business online, for them there would be a profile of a very qualified businessman whom you're looking upon. That profile is trying to connect with you. You end up connecting to these profiles and they start talking to you, and then you start giving out your information by just talking to them. Don't give that. How much ever they insist you, don't give that. How much ever they ask you, how much ever personal they ask you, don't say it, because you never know. There are high chances of them taking away your information to create a fake profile of you, probably crack your password, probably defame you, and God knows what more. Okay, in businesses, people want to get connected, to understand about your tactics, understand about your strategies of doing business, and probably they can use against you. So stay away from all this. Okay, there could be non-computer-based attacks in social engineering, like shoulder surfing and eavesdropping. So, especially when we are outside in an outside world, we have learned one thing, that nowadays we have to wear a mask. We have to ensure that we are washing our hands. We need to use sanitizer. So, get one thing more: when you are using any digital device, make sure nobody is seeing that. Whatever you are typing on the device, make sure nobody is shoulder surfing that. Make sure nobody is hearing you out when you're talking to somebody. People have a habit of shouting, okay, as if the voice is directly going to go to the another side. Don't do that. Okay, try to ensure, when you're talking, if it's confidential, if it's important, whether if it is confidential or not, I would always say, so get peace with it. Go slower. Your microphone is very much strong enough to capture even the minutest of voice. You don't need to shout on top of your voice. Okay, so to get away with this eavesdropping, control your voice. You never know, somebody is trying to overhear you and trying to gather some information which can be used against you. What if you are speaking to somebody and that the person would learn that you got a meeting at 2 o'clock at Churchgate, and somebody is trying to use the information against you? So just try to ensure that this doesn't happen. Dumpster diving is the third technique, which is a non-computer based attack which can happen. We have a habit: we write anything on a piece of paper, we throw it away. We might go to banks, we go to ATMs, we get the money out, and there is a printed advice. We just dump it. We just dump it and leave. Don't do that. It has your information. People can understand your last balance, which is there. People can understand a few digits of your account number. Okay, it's very simple. Let me tell you. If somebody has guessed last 4 or 5 digits of your account number, the further digits which are there, they are only of the branch and a bank you are using. Are you getting it? So it becomes very easier for a person to understand that your account is in which branch, and if they would know the account is in which branch, completely guessing your account number from that printed advice becomes again very easy. So don't do that. We have a habit of writing a lot of information on a piece of paper just for remembering. Sometimes we take notes and we write. Okay, so don't just trash it and throw it somewhere. Same when we are creating a digital information, for that matter. We scrap a lot of information and recycle bin. So make sure whenever you're scrapping the information in a recycle bin, uh, try to get away from the recycle bin. At least do shift delete. I know that even after doing shift delete, it doesn't goes away. If you feel that there was a very important information which you have written online, so there are file shredding tools available. Use them and scrap the data. For the teachers who are listening to me today, a high piece of advice to you all: when you're creating question papers and you feel that you've deleted from a computer system and it cannot be taken back, it can be. Better use file shredding softwares which are available. Shred that entire file completely so that it's gone completely forever and cannot be recoverable. So there are certain antivirus programs which have file shredding mechanism with them. There are certain softwares like File Shredder itself is one of the software which is available open source. Use it to delete these files. So don't leave this dump. for somebody to dive in it and get information out. Okay. Another is impersonation, when somebody is trying to impersonate as I'm an official person. That is another social engineering attack which can happen. That, hey, I'm calling from bank. So we know very well know nowadays that we don't need to entertain such. So if somebody is calling from a bank, banks have started saying that we never ask for your OTPs, we never ask for your vital information. So don't entertain them. If wherever you feel somebody is trying to give you something online, especially they say, oh, hey, you won a lottery. Get this very straight, guys. You are not somebody who is born with a very golden luck. You're gonna get 5 crores lottery just like that. Be practical. That's not happening. No, there are no free lunches. Never. Nobody's going to give away a lot of lottery to you for no good reason. So just try to stay away from all these attacks. Try to stay away from all these impersonations where people are giving you these they are luring you with these offers. So don't do that. Are you getting it? All right, so there are a few more questions here. I'll just like to answer. Sorry, I missed many. uh, I would like to ask, Hatim is asking, I would like to ask whether it is good to keep same password for all the accounts. Please don't. At least make sure that you change one single word. At least do that. Don't completely get away by just using the same password everywhere. Each and every account you are maintaining, simplest way is change at least one word, one keyword, maybe somewhere in the middle, not at the last only, but somewhere in the middle. So that will at least ensure a little bit change. You can use password manager tools. Okay, there is a app known as LastPass which is available on Android. Use that to maintain the password. The another best way is use always forget passwords and use random passwords to save whenever you are using forget passwords. So for the accounts where you really don't want to remember the passwords, forget password is the way. Or do it as many times and log into an account. Can anyone extract data through a video call? Yes, very much possible. So it is possible to have a data extracted through a video call. You know what kind of data, what you're speaking, social engineering can happen. So maybe you have to understand that. Another question is how can we learn via social media platform? It can help many students. We elaborate in this topic. I didn't get your question. How can we earn via social media? See, earning via social media is again a very big myth. Please get that very right. You will earn by your own profile. Your profile will make you earn, not a social media will make you earn. All right. So if you think that I'll make a good profile online and have a lot of viewers and I'll start getting a lot of money, no, that's not going to happen really. Okay. So that happens in an exceptional case when you have reached beyond. But get one thing very straight. Your profile will make you add a value to yourself. When that value is added to yourself, that value will make you earn. So you might get a better job, or maybe a very high paying job as compared to somebody else. So that way, it's an indirect way of earning. How do I know that my data is leaking? When you cannot know. To be very honest, however you try, you will not be able to know. Sahil is asking when we connect or log on to a public Wi-Fi, most experts advise to use VPN. I would say don't use public Wi-Fi, never to use that. Thanks to the companies in India, we have got very cheap internet. We don't need to really use it. And if there is a need be, it's very, very essential. Don't ever you do banking transaction using public Wi-Fi. So don't do it. There are very high chances that your data can be compromised. Another question: how do okay, sorry. Okay, how do the user know that there is a data or a password breach in his or her account? If you find that your account is behaving incorrectly, and when you try to log in with your old password, it doesn't work, I would say always do a forget password and change it. And keep a habit that every 3 months you need to change your password. That is again a digital hygiene method when you're changing your password every 3 months. So please do that. And also keep at least a 12 character password. Don't keep an 8 character one. That's a way long old journey of having an 8 character password. Payment gateways are the target points for the packet tracers. Okay, so payment gateways, again, as I say, there's a piece of advice when you are making payment online. Okay, use a wallet. Don't use directly your bank account to make the payment. Pay via wallet. So if anything is compromised, that is your wallet, and that wallet will carry a few amount of money, not everything. Another piece of advice: use credit card instead of using a debit card if you can. Or why? If a credit card is compromised, then at least the money which is there in your savings is not completely gone. You still have a buffer period. By the time you have to repay the money, in that buffer period, you will be able to complain and you'll be able to retrieve the entire transaction. Or maybe your bank will also help you in the same, but at least it will give you a little buffer period if your credit card is compromised. But if your debit card is compromised, your entire life savings are gone. Are you getting it? So try to use a credit card or try to use wallets as much as possible. Is Arogya Setu app safe? Now, there were vulnerabilities which were being pointed out, and I think they have fixed it. So I wouldn't be commenting on the app whether it is really safe or not. If you, it's given by the government of India. You can trust the government and feel free to use it. Rest entirely, it is your own call. Sorry, could you name some file shredding software? So you can use File Shredder or you can use Bitdefender's File Shredder. These are the two names which I am using it myself, so I can tell you. So you can use any others as well. So is there any toolkit for social engineering? There is no toolkit for it. You don't need to do it rather. There are techniques for the same. So should we use same password because their hash code will be different for different platforms? Yes, hash codes are different, but still I would recommend to mitigate the risk, you need to at least change a bit of your password. Is Google Drive safe? Very much safe, and provided if you're using a paid Google Drive, it gives you another level of encryption, so it is even more safer. Uh, there's another question. It's unclear as to what extent social engineering not considered as a threat, as social engineering is useful skill for an industry. Now, gathering information is useful for an industry to understand their audience and their customer, but at the same time, it just works like a knife. As you can use a knife to cut the vegetable, and you can use the same knife to slit the throat. So it's in your hand how you are using that information. If the information is used correctly, it is safe. If it is not used correctly, it is not. So, so that's it for today. And thank you for being an active audience with me. And the rest, you can always check my social profiles to understand how you can build your own. Okay. Thank you, everyone. So, Wilson sir, you can come online.
Yeah, yeah, yes.
Sir, you have been great in taking up questions and answering them. And I hope all the participants have got their questions answered. Further questions can be mailed to you and we'll get the answer from you. Right, sir?
All right. Yeah, definitely. You can always send the questions, and probably I'd love to answer them. As well as most things I keep posting on my social platforms. So what I've taught today, I practice it by myself. So you all can connect and always take an advantage of it.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Shruti?
Yes. Thank you so much, sir, for your precious knowledge for sharing your precious knowledge with us on digital hygiene. It was a wonderful session. We appreciate the efforts and time you have given us. I also thank our principal, sir, Dr. Ashok Wadia, our department coordinator, Professor Wilson Rao, and all our faculties and students who are technically helping us backstage, and to all our participants who are present over here. Dear participants, we hope that you all have enjoyed our webinar series and would like to see you all soon in the upcoming webinars by JaiHind College. Feedback link is shared in the YouTube chat box and the Telegram group. It will be active for 30 minutes. It is mandatory to fill the feedback form in order to receive the certificates. Thank you all once again. Stay safe.
Thank you, Saurabh. You've been a great, speaker. I hope everyone have understood about the digital hygiene. Basically, that was a unique topic, in fact, in this era of pandemic. And there were always issues with related to cyber hygiene, basically, a digital hygiene, we can say. and it was a great topic to be shared with the faculties and students who have joined with us today. And hoping to have more such kind of, you know, so kind of linkages with you. Basically, you have been knowing our college, and Fatima's network is little bit, shaky today, so she cannot could not join, but she was very much part of getting you on board in this webinar series. So so thank you, Fatima.
Correct.
uh, Sorry we could not have you because of your own internet issues, basically, but then that's the kind of thing over here. So thank you, Saurabh, once again, and we look
Thank you, sir.
forward for the kind of sessions more with you, or some guidance in our with our students again once the college starts.
Pleasure. I'll be there always. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you, audience, for being there with for all the 3 days. Any more questions? As Anjali told, that you can mail to us or sir. Also, he is having his own account over there on the screen. Please be in there. You can connect with him, or you can connect with us, and we will try to get you all the answers over there. You've been a great audience for the 3 webinars. There are more to come, from our department, basically. In our college also, we are doing some teach initiative. The initiative is called as teach. Any of the faculties want to learn about Google Classroom, Google Calendar, G Suite, or any kind of stuff, we can help you out by giving you those sessions. To you, they these are made personally for our college faculties. If any of the faculties want, we can try to give you those kind of knowledge to you also. So in during these days, we are all using a lot much time in self learning many things. I hope everyone are doing that. That's the reason these webinars are there. I hope this webinar was a fruitful session for all the participants for all the 3 days, ranging from WordPress, cloud computing, to machine learning, to lastly we came down to your digital hygiene. So thank you everyone for being there, and look forward to this channel for more of such kind of webinars which can enhance your skill sets. Thank you, and see you next time.